Hi, it's Lipstick Gal. Thanks so much for watching today. I'm gonna jump right into it. I have been seeing this everywhere and I'm like, but really, is it a good idea? Does it work? We're trying it today. And I don't know, you might have seen it. You might have tried it. If you have, let me know. But it's taking a velour puff that is completely saturated in water. I'm gonna squeeze the rest of it out here. Using a damp puff to apply foundation. Now, here's where I tell you 48. I'm 48. 48 and a half really, and I have a lot of fine lines under the eyes. I have larger patches of pores across this area, a lot of, crow's feet, texture for days texture. But I'm curious because I love the look of a foundation with a wet beauty sponge. It looks so good. Is this gonna do the same thing? So I just wrung out what was left in here. Like I have a towel in my lap. So this is completely wrung out. My goal is not to use too much. I am using one of my favorites from Estee Lauder. This is their Futurist Hydra Rescue. And I'm gonna start with one pump. That might be too much. I hope it's not. So here we go. I'm gonna start by just, dabbing some of this in. I already have a primer on my face. I have the L'Oreal, what is it? The 24-hour redness eraser. I feel like I started with a pretty happy, base overall. And it's not really a pore filling primer. It's mostly just to take down some of the redness. Here's where I feel like if I had a brush, I would still have product in the brush, but it's all kind of seeped in here. So I wonder if I might actually need a little bit more because I feel like I have no coverage on my nose. I'm just gonna keep patting it in. Let's see how far one pump will take us. Initial thoughts, it looks pretty good, except I feel like I'm gonna be burning through foundation at this point because there's a lot of it that got soaked up in here. My next pump is going on my little metal palette because I want to kind of thin it out like this and maybe dot some on the skin where I feel like I need a little bit more coverage. And I don't want a lot. I just want to be able to pick up little bits of it. And then from here, see if this velour puff is really gonna, it looks pretty good. I'll zoom you in. I'm not completely done applying. I feel like I went about it the wrong way. Putting it directly on the puff just makes it soak right into the puff. I think putting it on a flat surface, like maybe the back of your hand, if you have a palette, and kind of thinning it out. And then I have been kind of picking it up a little bit like this and tapping this. And I feel like it's gonna give me those nice thin layers that I really like on my face, where I can build coverage in just a certain area. I just wanted to show you what's left on my palette. I feel like the mistake was to do the first pump directly on here because I feel like at least half that pump, if not more, is like straight in the velour and in the cushion on the inside of this. I feel though that this gives a really similar look to what I would get from a damp beauty sponge. Let me zoom you in as far as I can go with my camera. This is what it's looking like. I feel like it actually, okay, first of all, I love this foundation. I wanted to try this with the foundation I knew I liked, made my skin look good and radiant, wears well all day. So this is a slightly glowy foundation. If you haven't tried it, it's so good. But I feel like application-wise, I feel like it looks pretty, like, maybe I wasn't very careful, like here in the corner, because I feel like I have a little extra on both sides. One thing that's nice is, although I have really heavy dynamic facial lines in my forehead, I don't feel like the product is instantly settling there. And I think it might be because this velour puff is, picking up any excess the same way a damp sponge would do. I don't know that this is giving me like better overall texture to my skin. Have you tried this? Do you love this? All right, I'm gonna finish putting on my face and I'll be right back. This was interesting. But I don't know that this is giving me any better application than a damp beauty sponge. This one's not damp, but little guy like this. I think what it comes down to for me is I was hoping that something like this, because of that pressing motion, and it's not quite as soft and bouncy as this, would actually help to get product exactly where I wanted it and not leave too much. I feel like I did a good job of applying. I had a couple of problems with like a little bit of excessive texture underneath my nose, and it could have been as I was dabbing things in, it was picking up a little bit extra and drying down. The product itself was drying down and I was continuing to try to cover my nose. Maybe I wrung it out too much. I'm not sure, but I feel like this did pretty well distributing foundation everywhere. When I tried to use this to put on my concealer today, and I'm wearing the Vanish Airbrush Concealer from Hourglass. Oh, no, 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 no. And it could be that this is a little bit heavier duty, a little bit higher coverage than the foundation I was using from Estee Lauder, but this did not do well. I started to like tap it out like this and was like, oh no, 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 and I had to stop and I had to use my finger. It was just making a textural disaster, and I feel like my under eyes have a little bit more texture than I'm used to seeing there. This is interesting, but I don't know if this is any better than this. I would love to know, have you tried this? I know it's all over social media. It's probably already been and gone, but it was so intriguing to me. The idea of using, a beauty staple on my beauty desk is like, well, what happens if I dampen it and then I use it for my foundation? And it's not new. I remember when Tati Beauty was selling her little, face, I don't know what it was called. It was some sort of a blender for, you can use it for anything. Laura Mercier's had velour puffs. Like every brand I feel has like a velour puff out there. e.l.f. just came out with one. Everybody's using something like this right now on their face. And I think it's great because it really harkens back to types of products we know work. I feel like this is a great staple for applying makeup in a variety of ways. And if you want to dampen it and use it to apply your foundation, I think it does a good job. But I don't know that I'm getting any difference between that and this. Just my 2 cents. I may try it again, but I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are. Have you tried it? Has it kind of like this trend kind of made you go, ooh, should I pick up some velour puffs? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching today. Have an incredible day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.